everyone, welcome to Kiara's Wellness Blog. I am Kiara and today we will be talking a little bit about the International Stress Awareness Week, which was from 30th October to 3rd November, that is today. Stress is a survival response. It is essential for the survival of the human race that we feel stressed. Imagine there's a car coming in towards you at a very high speed. What would you do? There is possibly just two reactions. You would either jump forward or you would jump backwards, getting away from the path of the car. And this exactly is what stress does. If we do not feel the stress when the car is speeding towards us, we will not make the decision to get out of the way of the car and would be hit by the car and probably die or be extremely injured. But nowadays, people are more likely to have lowered mental health and physical health due to stress. We live in a very fast-paced world, and this fast-paced world keeps us constantly in our fight or flight response. In fact, the recent pandemic was an eye-opener for a lot of people about the importance of mental health, and that mental health does require attention. Stress can manifest in many forms. In fact, studies have shown that stress is not a singular emotion, right? You could get angry due to stress, you could fear, you could get frustrated, anxiety, and even depression. This was the mental aspect, right? Let me talk about the physical aspect of how stress is manifested. Headaches, nausea, digestive problems, diabetes, thyroid, and many more things. You would not even have thought that this can be caused due to stress. It is important that we learn how to cope with stress in a healthy manner. There are so many people who start smoking or drinking or doing other forms of substance abuse when they're feeling stressed to cope with stress. But that only helps in that moment when you're high from those substances. And when this high wears off, you need to abuse again. And this becomes an addiction. How about we try doing some things that are not providing harm to our body, right? First, it is important that we identify that there is some things that are in your control and there are some things that are out of your control. There is absolutely no point stressing and worrying over things that you cannot control. Obviously, me saying this does not help you stop feeling stressed about things that you do not control, but focusing on the things you can control might help. There is a concept called the circle of control by Stephen Covey, where you draw 3 concentric circles and you label each of them from inside out: control, influence, and concern. In the circle of control, you add things that are in your control. In the circle of control, the smallest one, you add things that are in your control, things that are directly alterable by your actions and your behaviors. In the circle of influence, you add things that you can influence but not necessarily change. This is an indirect control. And finally, the circle of conflict are things that you cannot control at all. Stress can arise if the circle of control is too small comparing to the other circles. There are lesser things you can have in your control, but it becomes even more important for us to focus on those little things that we can control. Apart from this, having hobbies can help you de-stress. Think about things that you enjoy doing and spending time doing. Try to keep a positive attitude, not toxic positivity at all, but just simply a positive attitude towards things. And if it is too much for you to handle, then please see a psychologist. There is no shame in doing that. You will not be crazy for doing that. Believe it or not, if you take the first step, you will realize how good it makes you feel. Give time and attention to things that you can control. If your natural response to stress is being angry or overwhelmed, breathing exercises help improve that as well. There are many resources available here on YouTube. I will link some in the description. One more thing is to eat right. What you eat determines your behavior, your mood. The more junk food you eat, the more moody you seem to be. Stress makes our body eat too much or too little. Keep a tab on that. When that actually happens, make it right. Be aware of what's going on. I am hoping this helps you. You can follow us on Instagram at Wellness by Kiara, or check out our blogs at www.wellnessbykiara.com. Subscribe to our channel and spread a word. Every bit counts. Thank you.